Hello and welcome to Dissecting Games, a little series thing that I'm doing where I talk about my favourite bits of game design and then try and explain why I think they're so great. This week I'm going to be looking at Life is Strange, more specifically the rewind mechanic and how its implementation works so well within the game's story. So, Life is Strange is an episodic graphic adventure game which revolves around Max Caulfield, a naive young photography student whose world is turned upside down when she gains the ability to rewind time. From that point on, she must try and stop a catastrophic tornado, solve the case of a missing girl, save multiple lives, uncover conspiracies, all while trying to rekindle a lost friendship. To say there's a lot going on is a bit of an understatement, but the whole game does a pretty decent job of keeping the whole thing coherent, besides a few terrible lines of dialogue and some missteps here and there. But what makes the game so good, in my opinion anyway, is the rewind mechanic, a simple idea that gives birth to so many interesting moments and ideas. Okay, so when most people think of the rewind mechanic in games, they probably think of Prince of Persia, or maybe a modern racing game, where the mechanic is used as a way of fixing a mistake, allowing the player to go back and try again. Some of the time, Life is Strange does the exact same thing. You start a conversation with someone only to fail completely, so you rewind and try again, this time trying to use the information you've gained to do a better job. And then boom, the game then gives you the choice to use the information you've just learned. Now this might seem a bit too easy, but it's a great way of showing that you, the player, and Max have learned the same piece of information at the same time, creating a brilliant bit of anti-ludonarrative dissonance. No, wait, that's stupid. Ludonarrative harmony, where the game story and the mechanic coexist, instead of the mechanic being this separate and detached entity from the narrative. And this happens constantly throughout the game. Every choice and every conversation is always just a button press away from being reset. You can always see through the consequences of your actions and then change your mind. The game gives you a lot of freedom with how you choose to interact with it. So combine this with the game doing such a great job of presenting you with such morally grey choices, and it leaves you in a place where you're constantly second guessing every decision. Instead of every decision being a definitive choice, the mechanic gives you the freedom to change your mind, which in turn makes the choices all the more difficult. The game then continues to excel by pushing the idea even further, by embracing the mechanic within the story. The two never feel separate from each other, and it's clear to see that the game was designed with both in mind. My personal highlight of this is the scene in which Max has to explain and also prove the time rewind powers to Chloe. Not only is this a nice little scene where we learn more about the characters and their relationship, but we also see how integral the rewind ability is to the narrative. You can't separate one from the other. And this is an idea I would love to see being used more, although I'm not sure how well it would work in other games. But I would love to see Max Payne try and explain the fact that time slows down whenever he jumps. My other big reason as to why the mechanic is so bloody great is that it's not always there. Throughout the first two episodes, the player has been given this freedom to make mistakes, say the wrong thing and choose the wrong option, always knowing full well you can simply rewind and try again. And then bam! The climactic moment of episode 2 begins and the powers are gone. Suddenly you're on a roof with a suicidal girl in the pouring rain, and out of nowhere your safety net is gone. Every choice is vital and the game feels so much more tense and nerve-wracking because your freedom to fail is gone. And that's why the execution of this mechanic is so brilliant, because it knows when to take away your freedom, your safety net. There is no turning back from this point on. The character either lives or dies on the choices that you make in that moment. So, in summary, the rewind mechanic itself is nothing spectacular, but when it's so carefully and brilliantly entwined with the game's narrative, it creates this ludonarrative harmony that really connects you to the game's story. And like telltale games that often give you the illusion of choice, Life is Strange instead gives you the freedom to make mistakes and then learn from them, which therefore adds so much more depth to the choices that you make. So, thanks for watching and listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and comment and subscribe. Please check out my channel. There will be more videos coming soon. But for now, bye!